What's up guys, another week, another running training vlog where I want you to tell me how your week went. I want to know about your good workouts, your bad workouts, everything in between. Go ahead and write in the comments below. I've actually had a pretty good week. For the last couple of weeks I've been reviewing a new hydration pack by Ultra Aspire. You've all heard of Ultra Aspire. This pack actually holds the bottles right at your lower back. That video is going to be coming out probably on Friday, so stay tuned to that. But other than that, I had a pretty good workout one of these days of the week. If you follow me on Strava or on Instagram, then you already know about it. Also, last week we found out that the New York City Marathon is a go. We also found out that one of my favorite running YouTubers, Susie from I Run Things, she actually got accepted into the New York City Marathon, so she will be running that. Congratulations, Susie. So the New York City Marathon is going to be run on November 7th, and they're going to have 33,000 people, which New York City Marathon is one of the biggest marathons it is the biggest marathon in the world. And this year they're only going to have 33,000 people, which is about 60% of normal. And all the runners are going to be required to provide a negative COVID test or proof of vaccination. And then I'm sure they're going to try and figure out how to socially distance everyone. And just like the Boston Marathon, they're probably going to start in waves just so there's not thousands of people hanging out together all at the start. I know when I ran New York City in 2019, it was a squash at the start. There was no possible way to social distance. When 50,000 people are gathering to run the same course, it's tough to stay 6 feet apart from everyone. It's gonna be a fun race. Okay, I also found a pretty interesting article that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now, all of you watching this, I know that you are all getting faster. You're all dedicated to your training. You're putting in the time. You're becoming a better runner. You're becoming a faster runner. But you and I, we are the exception to the rule because, well, I can't speak for the whole world, but Americans in general are getting slower. I'm going to tell you about the study briefly, but I will also link to it in the show notes below because it goes into a lot of data. And if you are a running data nerd like me, you're going to love this article. This study analyzed over 34 million results from over 28,000 races. That's a pretty good sample size, isn't it? The study looked at 5K, 10K, half marathons, and marathons. So basically they looked at all the results and they took the data from 1996 to 2016. And in that time frame, 2016 was the slowest year in history. Some of you may be thinking to yourself, well, Matt, that's easily explained. A lot more runners run now. Perhaps more women run, and women are, on average, slower than men. How about this? Now at this time in history, and back to 2016, we get a lot more people walking the marathon. The marathon distance has turned into something that you can just turn up and cover the distance as slow as you like. So we do get a lot of walkers covering that distance. And you would think that would make a difference. This study disproves those myths. We are actually getting slower. And get this, males are slowing down at a faster rate than females. And by the year 2045, males and females are going to have the same average pace. So get this, over the last 17 years, females have slowed down by 9.87%. Now these are averages, right? We're not talking about individual. And the average male time has slowed down by 9.94%. That's huge. That's a big enough drop in time that technology can't make up for it. Like we get these super shoes and they're supposed to add a percentage of time, make us run a percentage quicker. I know Nike calls their shoes the next percent now, but there was a time when it was 4%. And those numbers are pretty accurate. There have been studies that show that the 3 and 4% increase in pace can be attributed to super shoes. Shoes with a carbon fiber plate. Okay, while we're briefly talking about super shoes, there was a study done by World Athletics. And the study showed that super shoes improved women's marathon times by 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Men are obviously lagging just a bit behind because the World Athletics study only showed that men got an increase by 1 minute and 3 seconds while wearing super shoes. Now there was also a study by Cornell University. They had a much smaller sample size, 22 runners. And in the Cornell study, their runners were not elite. So they weren't looking at the best of the best. They were looking at, people like you and me. And they found that men improved when wearing super shoes by 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And for women, it was exactly the same as the World Athletics study. Women improved by 2 minutes and 10 seconds when wearing super shoes. So this isn't a vlog about super shoes, but clearly there is a definite improvement from wearing them, but we're not making a dent in the decrease that we've all suffered just by time passing. I'm not going to spoil the outcome of the study. I really want you guys to go and check it out. It is a fascinating read. If you're a runner, if you like looking at times, if you're interested in how people get faster, you will enjoy this study. Oh, and get this, the average age of runners has increased from 37 years old to 41 years old. Anyway, thought that was a bit of fun. I get all this running news sent to my inbox because I just soak it up, and I'm glad that I can share it with you. If you guys ever have any running facts, I would love to know them. You can go ahead and drop them in the comments below. But let's get on with my week. I had a really good training week. Well, actually it was a pretty average training week, but I did do one workout that was pretty solid. But my week started off on Monday with 7.4 miles, super easy. Do like my easy runs, especially when I'm feeling good. Followed up on Tuesday with 7.6 miles. Now, again, most of this run was easy, but I did throw in 8 30-second pickups and then another 4 1-minute pickups with 30 seconds recovery. Now, Wednesday was a good day. I think I'm gonna release a video about Wednesday's run. Well, not really the run, but something to do with the run. But I did run a half marathon time trial. So knocked out 13.11 miles, and you know, it was a race effort. So obviously I had all the good feels the rest of the day after you complete a race, even if it was a race that I was the only one competing. Just like any effort where you go out and you thrash it. I did have a few aches and pains the next day, specifically a sore hamstring on my left side. So I went out the next day on Thursday, super easy. I mean, super easy. Knocked out 9.33 miles. It was in my head I was running a 15K. So that kind of rounds it up a little better than 9.33 miles. And as good as that half marathon time trial felt the day before, running easy the next day for recovery felt even better. Friday, it became clear to me that perhaps I have unrealistic expectations, especially when it comes to my recovery, because on Friday, I was actually surprised that I felt so tired from that half marathon time trial on Wednesday. So 7.2 miles, again, very easy. And my surprise was it was just even more on Saturday when I felt the same way. I just had heavy legs. I just didn't feel like going out. And I shouldn't have been surprised because obviously I did run a race effort on that time trial on Wednesday. Another 7.2 miles, just super cruisy, super easy on Saturday. Now the runs felt good, just didn't feel like doing them. If you ever go out for a run, even though you're not feeling it, let me know in the comments below. And Sunday was actually a pretty good day. I noticed that I was starting to feel a little better. Again, I had to go to work, so I only knocked out 7.7 miles, but I did throw in 20 30-second pickups. And the reason for that is that I noticed my legs were still feeling a little sluggish, and I had to kind of jumpstart that motor just to, you know, get the wheels turning. I think the wheels turning is a bad analogy, but I wanted to get my legs turning over, and I knew I had to force myself, so 20 30-second repeats. So total for the week, 59.59 miles, which is what, shade over 95 kilometers. I also knocked out 92 miles on the Peloton, which is 148 kilometers. Low week on the Peloton this week. All right, my friends, if you have stayed this far in the video, I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up. And the biggest favor that you can do me, the biggest thing that you can do to help my channel is to share it with your running friends. I post new running videos at least twice a week. Be kind, be happy, run well. See you in a couple of days.